If you're questioning your faith right now, don't close this. Don't swallow the doubt or hide it. Stay with me for 45 minutes. I won't tell you what to believe. I will give you a way to think clearly, feel honestly, and decide without fear. If you've ever thought, what if none of this is true? This is for you. Up next is a story from Sunday school that changed everything, and why asking one question felt like betrayal. I remember the first time I revealed my doubts about a passage during a Sunday school session. I said, "But this doesn't make complete sense." The words felt foreign, like walking into a house where the furniture had been rearranged. My palms sweated. I put on a smile, but inside something loosened equal parts terror and relief. That looseness is the beginning of thinking for yourself. In a minute, I'll tell you the exact verse I questioned and why it led to me being singled out. At 12, in a fluorescent-lit Sunday school room, I raised my hand and asked about 2 creation stories in Genesis. In Genesis chapter 1, plants are made on day 3, humans on day 6. In Genesis chapter 2, the account reads like the man is formed before plants. I asked, politely, why does it look like the order changes? Which one is correct? The teacher blinked, then smiled thinly. Another kid snickered. A parent in the back frowned. I was told bluntly, stop making trouble. Don't ask questions like that. It confuses people. Later, I was excluded from a small youth group activity. I was told I was rocking the boat. That humiliation, the coldness of adults who had previously smiled at me, taught me something ugly. Questions can be punished, not answered. Why would questions be punished? Faith is a slippery word. Sometimes it means trust built on experience. Sometimes it means belief without evidence. For a secular listener, think of faith as a claim an institution asks you to accept before you test it. That order accept first, test later flips the scientific method on its head. We treat the biggest claims about reality as though they are exempt from scrutiny. But why protect a claim from scrutiny? The answer lies in the emotional architecture of communities. Doubt feels dangerous, not because it breaks truth, but because it threatens identity. Communities create cohesion by sharing unexamined beliefs. Those beliefs become the glue. Ask a question and you threaten the glue. The reaction is often not reasoned rebuttal. It's guilt, shaming, or exclusion. That response isn't accidental. It's a defense strategy, preserving the group by policing inquiry. In a moment, I'll give you a thought experiment that makes this clearer, and why the threats you're told to fear are always conveniently unfalsifiable. Imagine someone offers you a deal. Obey me, give me your time and money, and I'll promise you an eternal reward after death. If someone made that offer outside a religious frame, you'd call it a con. The only difference is packaging. Sacred language, ritual, community enforcement, invisible punishment. When the punishment is unfalsifiable, the claim becomes impossible to test, and therefore impossible to disprove, which makes it safe for the seller. When beliefs are protected from questions, accountability dies. Bad ideas move into policy, restrictions on women's rights, science, denial, and laws that harm minorities. The danger is not belief itself. The danger is belief insulated from critique. Questioning is the safety valve of a healthy society. Years later, I walked to a river and asked myself, what do I actually value, not what I was taught to value? The answer wasn't dramatic. It was tiny and stubborn. Honesty, compassion, autonomy. That night, I didn't denounce everyone I loved. I simply decided to stop outsourcing my moral compass. It felt like stepping off a cliff and finding solid ground. People fear that, without God, life is meaningless. But real meaning is made, not handed down. It comes from relationships, projects, creativity, and justice. Meaning created by humans is fragile and precious because it's ours. Sartre called it freedom and responsibility. Others call it an ethical craft. Either way, it is real. Skepticism birthed science, human rights, and medicine. Doubt is not nihilism. It's a method. Hold claims to standards, demand evidence, and change course when data pushes back. Doubt frees us from superstition and opens us to discovery. First, write your doubts. Specificity matters. I'm worried about God is vague. How do I reconcile the existence of suffering with a benevolent deity is concrete. Second, read across the spectrum. Theology, skeptical writers, history. Don't live in an echo chamber. Third, check the evidence. If a claim about the physical world is made, see what the data says. Apply the same standards you use for ordinary claims. Find or build an honest community. Seek people who don't weaponize belief. Online forums, secular meetups, philosophy groups. Set boundaries. You may need distance from people who punish inquiry. That distance isn't cruelty. It's survival while you think. Practice integrity. Make choices that reflect your values, not fear of punishment. You ask, if I stop pretending, will I be abandoned? I answer, some will step back, some will lean in. The people who stay are those whose care doesn't depend on your creed. This is painful truth. The cost can be real, but authenticity attracts different, truer connections. Admitting you don't know is brave. It exposes you to uncertainty, social cost, and an emotional void. But it's the same courage that builds civil rights movements, scientific revolutions, and moral progress. Dare to be the person who values truth over safety. Questioning can lead to renewed faith, grounded in evidence and experience, a different spiritual path, secular humanism, or a slower, ongoing search. None of these outcomes defines your worth. Life is iterative. Look at reform movements that started with questions. Abolitionists who challenged scriptural justifications for slavery. Scientists who insisted evidence mattered. Contrast that with tragedies enabled by silence, like abuse covered up by institutions that forbid questions. The pattern is consistent. Inquiry increases moral clarity. A practical litmus test. Is your faith life-giving or control-based? Ask yourself, does this belief system produce compassion, curiosity, and autonomy? Or does it demand obedience, silence, and shame to preserve itself? If the latter, it's serving the institution more than human flourishing. A short exercise to help you choose your next step. Pause and breathe for 30 seconds. Ask, what do I want from my beliefs? Comfort, truth, community, freedom, justice? Write the top 3 answers. For each, ask how your current beliefs score on those items from 1 to 10. This small metric prevents slogans from overriding concrete needs. Truth doesn't fear scrutiny. Lies ask for silence. If you're questioning, you are not broken, you are awake. Keep reading, keep asking, and be kind to yourself and others. If you want a next step, pick one doubt, research it respectfully for a week, and talk to one person who will listen without judgment. That small habit will change how you think and how you live.